D-Nation, it's John Cena here. I gotta say this. What the hell is Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy saying? Man, I'm even agreeing with Jerry with this shit. Anyway, C-Nation, yeah, enjoy the show. What's the whole day respect?
I told you so. I said it in the video, folks. I said it in the video. I said Raw isn't going to be great. It isn't, right? And some of you watched it, and a lot of you were disappointed. And I told you so. I even posted the video. The only thing I didn't say was Mick Foley as a general manager for Raw, because I honestly believed it was Triple H. But that being said, apart from that, Daniel Bryan is a general manager for SmackDown. Not only that, but now you have you're gonna have the draft tonight. Essentially, Jesus, I have to watch 2 nights of wrestling now. By the way, I want to make this perfectly clear. I seen the first part of Raw. I seen live, right? That was a Stephanie round because I wanted to see who the general manager was, right? I'm glad they did that at the start of the show because it got me some sleep. Because after that happened, they said, and ladies and gentlemen, we have a 16-man tag match. And I went, boop, way to bed, see you later. And that was it.
What is up, Drop Alert Nation? I'm your host, Killer Keemstar.
I hit WWE Raw. Because the problem is with Raw recently is that there's way too many tag matches. Way too many tag matches. And the singles matches that they have no story behind it. Nobody really cares. Shit like that. That is the problem that I have. Anyway, guys, that being said, let's get on with the show. So basically, we're going to go down to, we're going to be looking at it piece by piece. If you are only just watching this video, by the way, I go through every single segment and I judge it by every single segment. Just because one thing happened doesn't make a show great. It has to be completely great, okay? Anyway, so that being said, let's get on with it. The McMahons named the Raw SmackDown general managers. Mick Foley was a surprise to me, but in saying that, logically, at this point in time, it doesn't make sense. Stephanie is a heel. It's very much clear she's a heel, even though sometimes she can't tell the difference when she's dancing with a New Day. But that being said, she's picked Mick Foley. Mick Foley obviously is a fan favorite. They obviously are trying to pit Foley versus Bryan. Obviously, Foley was an underdog in the Attitude Era, and obviously Daniel Bryan was an underdog in the Attitude Era, in the PG Era. Basically, I'm gonna level with you. I do not care about this Shane versus Stephanie storyline. It might lead into other good storylines that are happening maybe down the road. Again, this is only the start of essentially a new arc. If you could say that, it's the start of a new arc where it's a brand split now. We're gonna see to really properly judge this. You probably have to watch SmackDown, and a lot of people have been messaging me saying, "Oh God, I have to watch SmackDown now" and shit like that. Now that the other YWC members are gonna have to feel my pain because I had to go through this week in and week out, and you guys are gonna have to go through the same pain I went for the last 5 years watching this SmackDown when it was at its lowest. And yeah, like it was who was it messaging me? Someone messaged me saying, "How the hell did you fucking review it a whole time like SmackDown?" And now reviewers now have to review SmackDown, which I think's hilarious. But in saying that, though, I loved reviewing SmackDown because nobody else did it, but now everyone's gonna do it. So it's like, so I'm gonna have to up my game here with the SmackDown reviews, or it's now that it's gonna be called SmackDown Results. But anyway, that being said, honestly, this story was essentially Mick Foley did mess up a little bit on the microphone because I'm very good at seeing this. Mick Foley went, "What's my line again?" And then Stephanie said something and then he talked. That being said, Mick Foley's only just started back on Raw. He's probably maybe forgot a few lines. It's not a big deal. However, I think the whole Shane and Stephanie thing, I think that some of it is a little bit real. Because they are kind of throwing deliberate jabs at it. What I kind of noticed with them four in the ring is that a lot of it was kind of thinking on their heads a little bit, not scripted. Now, there were some things where it's a bit weak and shit like that. Honestly, though, I'm going to wait till at some point to judge this properly. Honestly, though, to be brutally honest, I really don't care about the Shane and Stephanie story. I think if Stephanie picked Eric Bischoff, no disrespect to Mick Foley, right? Mick Foley, big fan of his, one of my top, wrestlers of all time. One of them definitely 100%, an amazing guy. Hell, I even wear the same shirts as he does with the flannel thing and the two shirts and stuff. I like Mick Foley. But honestly, I felt Eric Bischoff should have been the perfect pick for this. I think maybe down the line, I don't think this Mick Foley thing might last long. I think it might last for like 6 months, and then they're going to change the general managers and stuff like that.
We didn't close now, but let's go. Color money.
That's a possibility. But however, I personally believe that Eric Bischoff would have been perfect besides Stephanie McMahon. That's just my opinion. Or anyone. But personally, that being said, I'm glad Mick Foley is probably a general manager. He is entertaining. I am looking forward to him, but at the same time, it's this whole Stephanie Shane thing I just don't like. It's just my personal opinion. Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn and Cesaro. Honestly, didn't really care that much about it. I really don't care. Hopefully, this is the end of the storyline. It's terrible. Even though, no, it's Sami Zayn. Yes, that's right, I forgot it's a tag match. It's Sami Zayn and Cesaro versus Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. Another tag match. Really didn't care. I just moved past the Sami Zayn Kevin Owens thing. It's absolutely ridiculous. Jesus, I am sweating like a motherfucker, right? For anyone who doesn't know, right? I'm going to point this camera here 2 seconds so you guys can see this. It is so fucking warm outside. It is not even funny. It is so goddamn warm. It's like literally a heat wave here. My wee peely face can't fucking hack it here. I'm gonna look like a lobster here. But yeah, anyway, that being said, Sami Zayn and Cesaro versus Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, I didn't particularly like it. That's just my personal opinion. I just think they need to stop it. At this moment, it looked for a moment that the rivalry between Owens and Zayn rivalry would bubble over. Instead, there was only a flash of hatred between the men before the bout moved on to more ordinary territory. Honestly, I think they should just move on from the storyline. It's just getting ridiculous. Darn Young versus Alberto Del Rio. Didn't like it. Now, here's the thing. I did the rant on Darn Young because, John Tony and Kevin Castle requested it. That's why I did the rant. The thing is, though, honestly, though, I generally don't see what this whole Darn Young thing's coming up to, because we all know Darn Young is not, I mean, if he wins a championship, but honestly, I don't see what the whole Darn Young thing is gonna lead up to. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know what it's leading up to, because I'm just not invested into it. You know what I mean? I'm not invested in The Miz, and I'm not really yet invested in Darn Young. And that's the problem I have with it. Also, Del Rio was getting buried. I'm sure he probably wished he was getting back, Young wins via pinfall. And yeah, honestly, I didn't particularly like that. John Cena, Enzo Amore, and Big Cass spark a war of words. This was some funny things happened. I want to talk about this. Enzo Amore and Big Cass, right? They did say some funny things. Alright? Some.
I'm pledging myself to the dark side of the Force. I pledge myself, I am Lord Vader now. My fans don't call me Jason, they call me Lord Vader.
However, what I personally found funny was the fact that John Cena is exactly the same as me. John Cena had no idea what was going on. Basically, John Cena was acting like me. Now, I don't mean like, he was deliberately, because, I doubt any one of them watch my videos. But But the fact is that John Cena, a guy that he looked lost. And what I want to say is this, though. John Cena did try and bury them a little bit. He says, what does it mean? What does it mean? I don't understand what it means. Like, I don't know if that was deliberate. Bit suspicious. I don't know, but honestly, yeah, maybe I'm looking into it a little bit too much. But I think it was hilarious that John Cena just didn't get it. The how you doing? Because I don't get it still. Me, guys, I just don't get it. Now, I did like maybe what Enzo said maybe at the start, but then he just stopped making sense. And then the New Day came in, and they were just talking about Pokemon Go, and then that was me gone. I wasn't interested again. Honestly, though, it's funny, like Enzo Mori can maybe be funny, but at the same time, it's kind of like, it's just corny. You know what I mean? Honestly. But anyway. Yes, honestly, you know, all in all, it was an alright segment. Oh yeah, by the way, like, AJ Styles was trying to be funny, and, you know, and I like AJ, I really do, but he's comedy's not his forte. So anyway, we got a 12-man tag match coming up. I didn't like it. I just felt it was all over the place. And I just don't like all these tag matches. I think personally it's too much. The Club and the Wyatt family win via pinfall. So in the ring, meanwhile, Amore accidentally clotheslines Cena, opening himself up for the Styles Clash finishing move. It's called the Styles Clash. I don't know why they put that on Bleacher Report there. Anyway, Sin Cara versus Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin wins via pinfall. This was a very quick match, and then he just beat up people. That was it. It was so boring. Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch versus Charlotte and Dana Brooke. Banks and Lynch went via disqualification. Didn't like it. I thought personally it was pretty boring. Zack Ryder and Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev and Sheamus. Really boring, very terrible, and again, more tag matches. It felt like Teddy Long was booking this. Anyway, I just didn't like it personally. Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. Okay. Before the championship bout, Seth Rollins ranted inside an empty arena, claimed the days with the Shield, talking about how he always dreamed of turning on his allies. Rollins wins via pinfall. Match later ruled as a draw. So, all in all, this was a good match. The match was good. However, the ending was just a cop-out. Everyone knew that this was either going to end up as a draw or it was going to end up as a disqualification. I personally felt it was a disqualification. Honestly, I would have had... I don't know. I don't see why they... This championship match was pointless. It was pointless. I understand that they're trying to further the story in Battleground to try and get people to watch, but honestly, nobody cares, alright? I want to say this straight off the bat. I personally believe that Seth Rollins is going to be the... I think he's going to win the WWE Championship, Seth Rollins, and I think Dean is going to be the world champion for SmackDown. That's what I honestly believe in. That's what I think will happen at some point. And that's what I feel. I feel that Seth Rollins is going to be on Raw. Dean Ambrose is going to be on SmackDown. As I predicted, I think that's what's going to happen. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But honestly, I felt that the ending was terrible. I just didn't get it. It was so confusing. Stephanie shouldn't have done, and your winner and your new WWE champion Seth Rollins, she shouldn't have done it. She should have. If you're gonna do this half-baked thing, then just do it half-baked and just say, alright, it's a draw, what's gonna happen? But I think Stephanie confused people by saying, and your new WWE champion Seth Rollins. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand why they did this. They should have maybe done Dean and Seth do like a segment together where it's the Mick Foley or whatever. I would have done that at the end. I would not have had a WWE Championship match. They only did this for people to watch it. That's the thing. They were so lazy, they had to force a WWE Championship match on Raw that I think the ratings are going to go down on, because I was looking at my Facebook, nobody was talking about Raw personally. But anyway, guys, I give WWE Raw a 5 out of 10. Slightly below a mid-average. It's a very average show. The only reason why it gets an average rating is because the WWE Championship was on the line. That's always been my philosophy. If there's a WWE Championship, it bumps it up. Also, they had to reveal a lot of general managers. But all in all, a show that should have been amazing didn't execute right. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. This is General Jerry on the General Jerry channel. Signing out.